Good morning. My name is Jaclyn. I'm the president of Women of Today's Manufacturing, and due to some limited social restrictions in the world right now, we thought this would be a good opportunity to go digital and be able to offer our members and our extended audience a new type of experience coming from our group. So I'm really thrilled to have connected with Shannon and Rebecca. Why did I say Shannon? Rebecca and Hanna Hines. And so these two ladies are a mother-daughter pair who are part of the Rock Valley College's Aviation Maintenance Technology program.
Mouthful.
All right. So welcome, Rebecca and Hanna.
Thank you. And I'm Hanna.
Thank you for taking the time with me today to learn about you both and just have a solid interview.
There you go. Thank you for having us.
Great. So I guess tell me about yourselves and your journey into this program.
I'll start with mine since I entered first, and mine was pure dumb luck. I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 decades, and I was thinking about the timing, and I went, oh, my nest is going to be empty and I have nothing to do. And I had seen that the Rockford Airport was expanding and expanding, so I thought, oh, I wonder if there's any jobs there. There were a few, so I applied to the program without telling a soul. And so I got into the program, and my husband came home. I said, I'm going back to Rock Valley. And he's like, oh, that's nice. And I had gone to main campus in 2011 and 2012 to pursue my degree to eventually become a lawyer. And a little bit of life got in the way, and so I put that on pause, and he thought I was resuming that. And I said, no, I'm going to fix airplanes, and I'm going to go to school 5 days a week, and it starts at 7 a.m. And he was like, where's my wife? I was a night owl at the time. And my experience as a nuclear mechanic in the Navy was a good fit technically. My experience as a journalist is a good fit in terms of all the paperwork. So it's a great fit for me. Day one, I just wanted to turn wrenches and make money. And about 4 months in, I kind of fell in love with aviation. So that was my journey. I took last semester off to get a couple surgeries done. And so this semester is really throwing us off.
Right.
Since NIU canceled the rest of their classes, or they went online for the rest of their spring classes, we expect Rock Valley to follow. So they usually do that. That provides a unique challenge for our program. The FAA requires that we be in the classroom for 1,975 hours before we can get licensed. So our school is probably putting together a plan, or the aviation program is probably putting together a plan to appeal to the FAA, which the FAA has asked for. They said, here are the things you can do. If you have a specific program you want to implement, let us know and we will work with you. So everybody's working together to get through this, make sure that we get qualified licensed people through. I was 2 months away from graduation. So it's a little unnerving. But we're going to get through this. This is temporary. And that was how I got into the program. Hanna, how did you get into the program?
Well, it's not quite as a long story, but essentially when she started falling in love with aviation, she started taking me to all these fly-ins and all these different events that were aviation related. And it was more of like my husband doesn't want to go anymore. Do you want to come with? And of course I'm going to go with, absolutely. And I kept going to these events, and I don't even know when the seed got planted, but eventually I was like, this is pretty cool. Okay, I kind of get this. And I'd come into school sometimes and drop off a lunch for her or whatever. And then I got chatting with one of our instructors, and I basically asked him all of the things I was worried about. And it's one thing to ask your mom who's going to encourage you, and it's another thing to ask an instructor who is just going to be brutally honest with you. So I asked him all of my worries, and he spelled it out for me, and he said, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to do. And I was like, okay. So I pulled up my mother and went to main campus and said, can I get into this program? And she essentially said, not right now, but you can take your other classes to get your associates, so that when you are in the program, you'll have that ready for you. And then the next day she called me and she said, can you come in? And I was like, yep. So I went in and she was like, how do you feel about starting on Monday? And it was like Saturday. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. That sounds great. So then I called my mom and I said, hey, I got some news for you. I start on Monday. And
Out of the blue.
yep.
And since I had to switch my shift, Hannah and I both overlapped then one semester in the night shift.
Yeah.
So there's
Okay.
3 shifts at RVC. It's 7 a.m. to noon, noon to 5, and 5 to 10 p.m. That 5 to 10 p.m. is a rough shift because you want to have your full day,
Right.
but then you have class all night.
tired. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but we made the best of it for the time we were able to do it, which was not very long.
So were you guys in any classes together then?
No, I'm a year and a half ahead of her.
Okay.
But
But
we
you,
have-
so in terms of the classwork and the shifts you guys are taking, sometimes they overlap, but you're in different classes.
We're in different classes, but the material it remains the same. So she has asked me a lot of questions, and I've even been able to answer some of them. So
Okay.
it creates a common language, and I can take her out to a plane and, what's this? It makes traveling with me insufferable.
It does. Oh my gosh. Getting on a plane with her, she's like, what are we looking for? And I'm like, nothing. We are not looking. If we find something, we're just going to be stressed out. So we're not looking. Like, ignorance is bliss right now.
But the questions I did ask her, she nailed. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a whole spin on traveling at this point. So that's our into aviation.
Wonderful. So have you guys always been super close, or have you, Hannah, have you followed in your mom's footsteps traditionally over time, or is this a really unique experience?
That is a good question. I'd say most kids go through a bratty phase where they're like done with their parents for whatever reason. And I didn't really go through, at least in my opinion, I didn't really go through a long period of that. I definitely went through it. But other than like that 5-month span or whatever, my mom has always been my best friend, and she's always supported me. And this isn't weird for us to like be going to school together, to be spending this much time together. It's honestly pretty awesome.
And we know it's temporary. We know that this is, once I go to work, it changes. So it actually makes us treasure
It really does.
that time together. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be working at the same company.
I'll be her boss. It'll be so much.
It'll be something.
I love it. You've got dreams and ambition. So be like, let's turn the tables. Here are the rules now, Mom.
Good luck with that.
So I think the biggest thing that I'm hearing is there's a ton of mentorship and support, and for I think women who are pursuing different degrees and experiences and really branching out into professional worlds where there's a lot of technology and manufacturing and that kind of engagement. Well, it's rare enough to see 2 women in a program, right? It's even more rare to see that mother-daughter combo, but I think it speaks volumes to the level of mentoring and connection and support that I think is needed for a lot of us in certain industries that are more male-dominated. Can you guys talk to me about women in your industry? What are the number of different female students you have in your classes, and what's kind of the trends there?
The number of females that we have in our program is abysmal. It's in single digits throughout all of the classes. There are 2 morning classes, 4 afternoon classes, 2 night classes, and we're still under 10 women. We need women in the program.
I think our class has the most women, and we're at 4, including myself. And
that's the most ever.
Yeah.
And that's abysmal because it's 25 people in a class.
Yeah.
Okay.
In aviation maintenance, only 3% of workers are women. And in women pilots, it's only 7%. Aviation needs women. We just came back from the Women in Aviation conference.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about mentoring. I saw some of my mentors. I received an award with one of them, which was unnerving because to be put in the same category as her was phenomenal. And it was it was 3 days of women lifting each other up. And that's all it was. It was great seminars. It was great speakers, reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with mentors, meeting all kinds of new people. And you come back with such positive energy and connections that last. This isn't, hey, here's my business card, I'm going to try and sell you something. It's, hey, here's my business card. I want you to call me next week and let me know what I can do to help you. And Hannah's nodding her head. Tell us how you felt before and after.
All right. Walking in, I was really excited, but also kind of nervous. And then I walked in and I saw all of these incredible, beautiful, talented, intelligent women that are just doing amazing things. And I am a second semester student. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't speak to anything. And I'm not gonna lie, my first day I was very overwhelmed, and I was like, I shouldn't be here. I don't feel like I should be here. And then very quickly, every woman that I met was like, you are supposed to be here. This is meant for you. We are here to help your generation. We are here to make you more comfortable, to give you resources and tools to deal with the things you are inevitably going to have to deal with in this industry, and to give you job opportunities and college opportunities. And I instantly felt like I was supposed to be there. And that was so important to me. And the whole thing was just amazing. Oh my gosh.
She pursued avenues I hadn't even thought of. And a couple of months ago, she said, what am I going to do in aviation? What is possible? And I said, you're going to see all of that at the conference and then some. You're going to see jobs you didn't know existed. You're going to talk to some amazing people. You're going to see what's out there. And really that's all it was, how can I help you? And in turn, how can we help you? We met this wonderful teacher from North Carolina, and he had brought one of his students. And his student, he was so nice. It was this young gentleman, and he had dressed up nicely, and he had a nice firm handshake. And I told his instructor, I said, he dressed up, that shows respect, and we appreciate that. And Hannah said, yeah, and he had a firm handshake.
I was like, thank you for shaking my hand like I'm a human being.
Right,
that was
right.
incredible. I don't know why I was so excited about it.
Because he wasn't treating me like porcelain. And this kid wants to change the shape of a propeller based on whale sounds. Because it's all sound, waves are just energy. And so he was asking me for help on that. And I said, I got to tell you, that's out of my wheelhouse, but my cousin is a sound engineer, and he can put you in touch with the right people. And so that was another connection we made. And I'm not able to help him directly, but I'm able to put him in touch with people who can help him. And that's really what the whole conference was about, was how can I help you? And hopefully we helped a couple people.
That's great. I think it's really important for us to continue building awareness and making connections, even across industries, across genders. And those are the things that are going to continue to move us forward as a society and in professional arenas and education. So it sounds like you two are a class act and just get it. Right. What are some things or some ways that women of today's manufacturing could potentially help the aviation maintenance industry, or women in that field specifically, do you think?
I love that question. They're so closely related. Airplanes aren't made of thin air. They're made of parts. And so by coming to our school or engaging with us, reaching out and saying, hey, we make this part in Rockford and we want to show you how it's done. I love going on tours. I love meeting people and going on tours and seeing how it's done. I love the technical end of it. I love the safety end of it. So that's one way to reach out, is to just show us how you do it. How do you make it happen? What is the strengths? What is the strength? What are the strengths and the weaknesses? It's been a long day. And then even just to reach out as a support network, because we've been through some crazy stuff already, and to have somebody say, hey, everything's going to be okay, and here's what our business is doing, and here's how you can help. Those are great ways to stay engaged and to help. Because a mentor doesn't have to be from the identical industry. It can be from, in the pipeline, so to speak.
Right. Okay. No, that's all great. I think, I mean, obviously there's a ton of uncertainty in the next few weeks or few months right now, with us not being able to do our different tours of manufacturers in the area. It's thinking through what else can we do and how to continue connecting to build those opportunities and those relationships. And so you two are my guinea pigs. And I think is just a perfect opportunity for us as an organization to educate other people about programs, to build an awareness of who you guys are, right? And kind of just tell the world these programs exist. Here's what we're doing. Here are our educational pathways leading to our career pathways. So I'm thrilled to be able to have this virtual meeting and conversation. So I'm super excited. So I want to talk a little bit about fear. I think, Hannah, you might have mentioned fear at one point. So how do, like, I guess being younger, right? I don't know if I should ask how old you are.
Yeah.
What type of
I have a baby face. It's okay.
like, I don't know if men can't ask women how old they are.
Right,
So
right.
I'm a
can, so
don't actually do that. All right, let's move on.
So do you have any are you a fearful person or a fearless person?
I am very much both.
She's fearless.
I'm very much both.
She's fearless.
I was raised by a fearless woman and a very supportive family. So there's not a lot of things that I said, I want to try this, and they said no. And I think growing up, that really pushed me into thinking that I could do literally anything I put my mind to, which is awesome. And it also gives you too many options. And when I do have a fear of something, once I'm in it, once it's happening, it's a lot easier to deal with and to just take a deep breath and say, I'm here, I can do this, and just kind of go from there.
The anticipation a lot of times is worse than
absolutely
the actual action.
Well, I guess that same question should go to you as well, Rebecca. You have had a little bit more time than Hannah in the world and exploring different careers and opportunities. So you were talking about pursuing law, and then you decided to switch gears and go into aviation. So were there any fears there, or you just know what you want and forge ahead?
That decision, a little bit of life was happening at the time. But then also the numbers didn't support law school. So when I decided to not pursue a law degree, a little bit of life was happening and I was able to put school on pause, but then also the numbers didn't play out. I was going to end up with 6 figures in debt, and there's a glut of lawyers, where with aviation maintenance, I'm going to come away with no debt, and my starting salary somewhere, I would be surprised if it's under 40 a year, which that would be the low end of what I would accept at this point. So based on my skills and my certifications. But anyway, so that's a big difference to be just, cash positive right out of the gate. And so it makes the program very attractive. It's inexpensive compared to getting into any other industry that pays what aviation pays. Aviation pays well.
So knowing that and really focusing, I know there's been a lot of talk about college and student loan debt and having that good return on an investment. So Hannah, is that something that that your mom has kind of talked to you about and instilled in you?
We've definitely discussed it. I mean, the school really is cheap, so to take out a loan that size doesn't scare me. Like credit card debt scares me. Loans don't scare me. So I have a student loan taken out that'll cover all of my schooling, and then I'll be able to pay it off afterwards because it is a high-paying industry, and I'm hopefully, with any luck, knock on wood, I'm not going to have trouble finding a job or anything. So I'm not worried about it.
Right. I think and for Rockford in this area, there's been a significant amount of investment put into aviation, and there's been a strong support with the Rockford Airport offering more flights out for just, anybody to go on a vacation. We've got our different distribution hubs with UPS and Amazon. What other types of companies are out there in this area that you guys are aware of and maybe interested in working at?
Well, about 58% of people who earn their airframe and power plant license, which is what we'll get, it's issued by the government, actually don't go into aviation at all. They get snapped up by other companies. So it's less than half that actually go into aviation. Any manufacturing company, any smart one, is going to look at that license and understand that that's a license to learn, that that's somebody who has the capacity to learn something technical, that they can be trained and taught. So really anything, I'm looking at safety, so that's kind of my thing. So any safety officer position is going to be a good fit for me in really any industry. And then of course, we have a lot of local industry or companies that are aviation based. I think this travel slowdown, as we'll refer to it, is going to put the squeeze on a lot of those companies. But that also bolsters manufacturing because we still need other parts. We still need refrigerators. We still need cars. So I think a lot of the industries will be hopefully not as affected as aviation.
Is there a certain, Hannah, you're still kind of young in your coursework, but is there a dream company or where do you want to be in 5 years?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. I'd like to be off the night shift.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I know. But right now, I'm just kind of looking for. I have no clue. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have no idea. And she's gung ho on safety because that's her thing, and I'm still looking for my thing.
Sure. And Hannah has a lot more time to pivot.
I do, yeah. So
Right.
I'm not panicking about it right now.
And she has another Women in Aviation conference to go to as a student, which will be the last one was my final one as a student. So I was really looking for jobs. I was really on the hunt, where Hannah didn't have to worry about that. And so she could just make connections. But next year you'll have your application ready.
And I'll hopefully know what I want to do.
And again, she can do something for 10 years and change her mind.
Yeah.
I don't have that luxury. So I'm kind of zoomed in on safety right now.
Yeah, that's one of the things that at least our organization tries to promote and support would be career pathways for younger students wanting to explore different career pathways in the manufacturing sector and engineering, STEM fields. But then there's also a full range of people that are mid-career or, maybe have 15 more years left and have that opportunity to pivot and explore different pathways. So it's always an evolution, I guess would be my advice. I think you get that, and you can always find that good pivot to invent yourself, reinvent yourself, and explore. So, man, this has been great. Do you guys have anything else, any information that you want to give out to the world and to our network?
So if you're in the Rockford area and you would like a free hangar tour, contact us. We can give you our contact information and people can contact us. And we're happy to speak again when things get back to a new normal, I think is what we'll have to call it. But if you want to come see our facility, see what it's about, it's a great school. It really is. We need more women in it. We
Okay.
need more women in aviation, and I'm happy to mentor anybody. Hannah's happy to do the same. And because it's a high paying job that you could support yourself on easily. I've done events with instructors where it's like a aviation fair, and Rock Valley had a booth, and the kids, the potential students were all excited about, oh, I want to learn this and I want to learn that. And I would take the parents aside and I would say, they're going to be okay. If they go into aviation, they will be able to support themselves. And I could just see the relief wash over their faces, because that's what they need to know. And I would say, go to JS Firm, which is where a lot of aviation jobs are. Don't listen to me. Go to JS Firm and look at the aviation jobs available. And then they sleep at night. And then they go, okay, my kid is going to be okay. Because you wonder, a 2-year program and they're going to make how much per hour coming out? That seems too good to be true.
Right.
When everything does come back to normal, we're going to face even more of a shortage, because the average age of a mechanic right now is 58 years old. Anybody who can retire right now is exiting. So when travel gets ramped back up, the shortage is going to be even more dire. So let's fill it with women. That's what I'd like to see.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Well, I think to plug some more data to that, women make up 50% of the workforce. So there are enough of us to help fill those gaps, and we are capable, and we are intelligent, and we are skilled. So we can definitely do it, but we need to empower other women to not have that fear, and just know that there are opportunities. So I think you two are a great example of that. And so I'm really thrilled that I was able to meet and connect with you.
Yeah, so are we. Thank you.